We're Ellen and David Rebstock. We were in the order from 1976 until 1988 in various places. At the moment, we're in the process of moving from Santa Rosa, California to East Coast somewhere. We haven't quite decided where, possibly Asheville, North Carolina, to be closer to two of our sons, Mark in Washington, D.C., and Peter in northern New Jersey. Some history.
Well, today's date is November, this is November the...
Oh, yes, 9th.
Yeah.
And we are at Weagle's, just having completed a Profound Journey Dialogue event led by John and Linda Koch here in Phoenix at Shadow Rock UCC Church. This is part of our journey by RV. We thought we might as well make it profound as long as we're on this journey. A little bit of history. We took an RS-1 in 1971 in Milwaukee, and then promptly moved to Holland to avoid it, I guess. But they caught up with us, these EI folks in Holland.
One Saturday morning in The Hague, the Netherlands, where we lived and worked with Arthur Anderson, who should walk up our front walk but Gene Marshall and David Wood and Fred Buss doing lens marketing in Europe. This was 1973 abouts. From then on, we had Fred Buss and Jack Behringer in our upstairs bedroom almost from one or two nights every week, promoting RS1 and Lens in The Hague, in the Netherlands. And we did a lot of work with them in Brussels and helped them in the setup of the European houses, and provided a staying place for youth that were coming to live in those houses, including people like Mary Boyven and Mark Jewell and a couple of others. Then when we came back to the United States, we tried to avoid the EI as much as possible. We knew that we could get sucked in easily, and finally, even one time we went down to Chicago and went to church at the People's Church, and nobody recognized us, so we just drove back to Milwaukee again and didn't even say anything to anyone. This was in 1975, I think, or 70, late in 74. And then in 75, Fred Buss finally got us to come down to the end of the summer program in 1975, and pushed us to go to the Majorel Consult.
Was that the big town meeting that summer?
No, that was in 76 after we were in the order, was the big town meeting thing. But and then we went to the Majorel Consult, and at the Majorel Consult decided that we wanted to join the order.
You both went to that? That was
Yeah,
the first
we both
one?
went. Ellen, I was on the economic team, and Ellen was on the story health team. My experience was they were just getting the Transatol Service Corporation, the task started, and they were also doing accounting, trying to get financial statements for Kitco, a store in the Marshall Islands that was run by a man that had, during World War II, had worked with the American Army in intelligence and stuff. But I was working at that time with Larry White, trying to get, and of course, both of those organizations were pretty much in debt and had to find a way to keep going. And this was in the spring of 1976, so we decided at that time that I would leave Arthur Anderson. But my boss in Milwaukee said, well, if you former boss in Milwaukee, who was now in Chicago, said if I'd move down to Chicago for a year and work on a special project that he had, that he would let me spend as much time looking for another job as possible. And so we sold our house in Milwaukee, stored our household goods, and moved to Chicago with all three of our sons, which were quite little at that time. Before we moved down, I went down for academy. So I went to academy in April.
And the kids and I lived in the Milwaukee house, which Helen Newkirk and I had found. It was a German Catholic convent, and when we went to talk to the people about letting us use this place, Helen explained that Newkirk in German meant new church, and I explained that Rebstock in German meant grapevine, and of course they gave us the place. I was working as a physical therapist at the time to help support the house and the family, and Helen was supposed to be watching Peter, who pedaled away on his tricycle 3 times in 1 week and ended up at the police station where they gave him lollipops, which he thought was terrific, so he did it again the next day.
But we moved down to Chicago with a U-Haul van with more than 2 suitcases, and after academy, just in time for the summer program, I guess it was. And that was the summer program with the big town meeting in Chicago. Summer '76.